Well, friends, once again, everyone, yesterday we done creating a test suite and executing a test suite. We have created a test suite where we have grouped multiple test cases so that whenever you run the suite, all test cases will be executed one after another. I'm running the TestNG suite. There are two sample test cases now. The two test cases will be executed one by one. Let us run the suite again. After creating individual test cases, you can group the test cases into TestNG.XML file, which is a test suite. Whenever you run the suite, all test cases present in the suite will be executed one after another. The two test cases are executed. I hope you understand this concept so that I'll continue, extend the discussion, parameterizing the TestNG.XML file. If I confirm this TestNG.XML file creation is understood, I go with my next topic, parameterizing the TestNG.XML. Please do confirm. So everybody clear? Okay, good. See friends, I already told you, last 4 sessions we are learning the TestNG. Even today also we learn some other concept. After completion of the conceptual understanding of the TestNG, again I go back, same TestNG framework I implement by writing the actual test cases on the RNHRM project. Okay, same topics again I repeat with a practical orientation. Well, now my today topic is parameterizing the TestNG.XML file. TestNG parameterization. In a very simple words, what exactly it is? Passing test data through TestNG.XML file to test cases. Got it? How to supply the test data through TestNG.XML file to the test cases. That is the topic. Listen. In this TestNG.XML file test suite, we have two test cases: admin login test and bank employee login test. These two. These test case calling admin login test class, this class. Okay. Here yesterday, while creating this test method, I have not defined any input arguments, but we know to check admin login feature, definitely it requires two arguments: admin user ID and admin password. It needs two arguments, correct? User ID and password. Okay. Now, how to supply the test data to the test method? via the TestNG.XML. Here, you can define parameters. We can define parameters in TestNG.XML file. How to define the parameters? We can define parameters in TestNG.XML file. Right. You know parameters meaning input fields, input data. Syntax for defining the parameters. What is the syntax for defining a parameters? Parameter and end parameter. For the parameter, you have to specify a name, parameter name. We have another keyword here, value, the data we have to give, parameter value. Data nothing but the parameter value. So this is the syntax for declaring parameters in the TestNG.XML file. Right. Now, we can define parameters at suit level and also at test level. We can define parameters either at suit level or at test level. So here, how many test cases are available in this suit? How many test cases are available in this suit? Correct, 2 test cases are available. Okay. Now, you do observe our cursor available at suit level now, correct? Our cursor available at suit level, inside the suit, but outside of the 2 test cases. If I define parameter here, like this, a parameter, this is the syntax, name equal to name of the parameter. Say for example, application URL, my parameter name. Value, say this primusbank.qtech.com, whatever. Where is the parameter defined? Where is the parameter defined? Inside the suit, but outside of the test cases. These parameters are called suit level parameters. These parameters are called suit level parameters. Here app URL is suit level parameter. As it is suit level parameter, these parameters you can access in test case 1, also in test case 2. So suit level parameters are accessible among all test cases present in the suit. Test case 1, also at test case 2. Supposing you can also define parameters inside the test. Inside the test, syntax is same. A parameter name equal to, say for example, my parameter name admin user ID, the parameter value admin. I'm defining another parameter, name equal to banker user ID, value, oh, okay, sorry. Admin password, the test data admin. Here, these 2 parameters are called test level parameters because they are defined inside the particular test case. Now, similarly for bank employee login. Now I am at inside the test. Here I am defining a parameter. Parameter name equal to, for example, branch name, banker login. Say SR Nagar or Amirpet or whatever. One more parameter I'm defining. Banker user ID. Value, say for example, John. One more parameter I'm defining. Banker password. Value, demo. Now here, these parameters are test level parameters. Test level parameters. Okay. In this scenario, app URL is a suit level parameter. Admin user ID, admin password, branch name, banker user ID, banker password are test level parameters. You understood the concept? The suit level parameters you can access. The suit level parameter app URL you can access. You can use in both admin login test, also banker login test. You can access them. How to access, I'll demonstrate. I'll demonstrate how to access. Whereas here, admin UID, admin PWD are defined inside the admin login test case. So this admin UID, admin PWD, we can access only in the admin login test case here. This branch name, banker user ID, banker password, you can access only in the second test case, banker login test case. Okay. How to access these parameters now? How to access these parameters? That is the question. Let's see. Supposing, just for your understanding, I'm creating one more test method to explain how to access the suit level parameter. Okay, let's say launch app. Only we are understanding the concept here. Launch app. You know, this launch app needs application URL. Or you can configure this using before test or after test, that is your option. Just here we are trying to understand how to define the parameters and how to access the parameters. Here, this is URL. Here I'm not writing any actual code. I'm just printing the URL value. Sorry, the URL value. So here, this is my one method, it's another method. Now, how to access the parameters? Launch application method requires one input argument, URL. Okay. The URL data available in the TestNG.XML file. What is the parameter name here? App URL. The app URL is a parameter name, whereas just URL is the input argument to the function. URL is the input argument name of the particular function. App URL is the TestNG parameter name. Right. How to access the parameters? In order to access the parameters, there is a TestNG annotation called @parameters. @parameters, which belongs to TestNG. Okay, @parameters, inside the parentheses, inside the flower braces, we have to define the parameter name. What is the parameter name? App URL. So this is how you can access parameters available in the TestNG.XML file. Now here, I want to access user ID parameter, password parameter from the XML file. This is my admin login test case. In the TestNG.XML file, inside the admin login test case, there are two test level parameters. What are the parameters name? Admin UID and admin password. These two parameters belongs to admin login test case, test level parameters. Hence, they are accessible only in the admin login test. Whereas app URL you can access in the second one also. Okay. How to access the other two parameters? Same syntax, at the rate, parameters, the parentheses, the flower braces, parameter name, comma, second parameter name. Just we have to use a comma, specify the parameter names if you want to access multiple parameters. Here my first parameter name, what is that? Admin UID. Here it is, admin PWD. So what happens? When I run the program, it needs app URL parameter, right? This is access from the TestNG.XML. Whatever the value available here, that value will be accessed into app URL. The app URL will be supplied while calling the function. App URL value will be supplied to URL while calling the function. So this code will be executed. The same way it is. See, don't get confused. Here also your input argument name can be app URL, but not required. This can be anything. This can be A, this can be B. It is accessing a parameter from the XML file. It is applying to the called function. The called function will receive the value and execute the code. That is the concept. See, here are my input arguments of the function UID PWD. Admin UID, first value will be supplied to the first argument of the called function. Second value will be supplied to the second parameter of the called function. The values will be supplied in a sequential order. Got it? Now, similarly, okay, here, to understand this, here what I will do, admin login test, user ID value, and for your understanding, I'm printing the data also, password value. See here, bank employee login test. You know, it needs branch name, user ID, and the password. First, we have to access the parameters. At the rate, parameters. What are the parameters you want to access? First of all, how many inputs it requires? It needs 3 inputs: branch name, username, and password. The 3 inputs I will access from the TestNG.XML file. What are the 3 input names here? Branch name, username, and password. Right. Now, so what I will do here, at the rate parameters, we have to give the parameter names. 3 parameters we have to access. The first parameter name, branch name available in the XML file. This is banker user ID, and it is banker password. So now, just for your understanding whether it is fetching the data from the XML file or not, I'm printing, see, the branch name, whatever access from the XML file, supplied to the first argument of the called function BR name. I'm printing the BR name here. Then I'm printing the user ID. Also, I'm printing the password. Well, now let us run the XML file. Let me run the XML file. The 2 test cases will be executed with the data, whatever you are passing from the TestNG.XML. Let's see the output now. Admin login test case executed using this data. For your understanding, I'm printing like this here, right? In fact, okay, app URL also I'm printing. Okay, one moment. Here what happened? Launch application. This is check admin login. What happened here? You see the output and tell me what happened. If there are multiple test methods inside a class, they'll be executed in alphabetical order. Check admin login was executed first, not launch application. So here I'm configuring the priorities. Priority equal to 0, because first I want to execute the launch application, then priority equal to 1. So let me run the XML file again now. The first test case executed. In the first test case, we have launch application and admin login methods. Then the second test case was executed using the data. These are test data we have recorded in the XML file. So we are able to pass the test data. We are able to pass the test data from the XML file to the test cases. So we no need to hard code the data. Next time you want to execute the test cases with some other data, you can change the data here. We can change the data here. So if really you want to execute the test cases with multiple inputs, we don't go with TestNG parameters, we go with Excel parameters. I repeat, if you want to run a test case, any test case with multiple sets of inputs, we don't go with TestNG parameters. We go with Excel parameterization. That is our next topic, data-driven testing. Now see your TestNG generated output for the same. Leave the console output, see the TestNG generated output. The Parameterbank test suite executed, admin login test case executed, launch application with this data, admin login with admin and admin. Bank employee login test case executed using SR Nagar, John and demo. See, automatically the data supplied to execute the test cases also displayed in the results. Not only the pass or fail green color, red color, whatever the data supplied for testing the functionality also displayed in the results, it would be better. So this is the concept TestNG parameterization. I hope you got the point, right? So please confirm so that I'll confirm the notes. I conclude the notes about this. Did you understand the concept? If really you want to run the test cases, where you want to define your test data in the XML file, we can go with TestNG parameterization. Right. Now here, I'll conclude the notes here. See, what is parameterizing TestNG.XML file? Passing test data through TestNG.XML file to your test cases is called parameterization, TestNG parameterization. Okay. We can define parameters in the XML file. What is the syntax for declaring parameter? Parameter, name equal to parameter name, value equal to parameter value. Okay. We can define parameters either at suite level or at test level. Suite level parameters, test level parameters. So here, suite level parameters are accessible among all test cases present in the suite. Whereas test level parameters are accessible only in that particular test case. Okay. If you define a parameter suite level, I show you that here once again, app URL is a suite level parameter. You can access suite level parameter among all test cases available in the test suite. Whereas here, admin UID and admin PWD are defined inside the admin login test case Hence, they are called test level parameters. Test level parameters are accessible only in that particular test case. How to access parameters? Here I given a syntax only, syntax for declaring parameters. Now let me explain. Syntax for calling, or I can say accessing TestNG parameters. So here, @parameters, name of the parameter. We have to follow this syntax. If you are accessing multiple parameters available in the TestNG.XML file, the parameters should be separated with a comma. So finally, what is the syntax here? Supposing there is a test method. Let's assume this is the test method. Now, how to access the parameters to the test method? That is the concept, right? Parameters. Inside the brackets, inside the flower brackets, you have to specify the parameter name. Supposing if you are accessing multiple parameters, parameter 1, comma, parameter 2, and so on like this. So these are syntax for accessing the parameters. So this complete program will explain you how to define the parameters and how to access the parameters. Okay. So anyhow, what I will do today, I'll compress this entire project. I'll make it as a zip file, compressed file. I'll upload the entire code into the including TestNG.XML and all into the drive. Okay, so that you'll understand the entire concept well. Now, here, running another small concept. Test cases present in TestNG.XML file sequentially meaning one by one, similarly, simultaneously, parallelly. See, as of now, in this XML file, you tell me you have observed when I'm running this, all test cases are running sequentially or parallelly. Test cases are running sequentially or parallelly. Only 2-3 people have answered. Sequentially, correct. So by default, all test cases present in the XML file will be executed one after another sequentially, right? You please carefully observe here. At suit level, the suit tag, we can use a keyword parallel. Default value equal to none. What do you mean by none? Parallel equal to none, meaning parallel equal to either false or none, meaning test case will be executed sequentially. Parallel equal to none. So here, by default, all test cases present in the test suite, which is TestNG.XML file, will be executed one after another, that is sequentially. Okay. So default parallel, it is actually parallel is a keyword. Parallel keyword value is none. Parallel equal to nothing, none. Right. If you want to run test cases simultaneously, parallelly, you have to change this value to tests because I want to run the test cases parallelly. Default parallel value is none. Hence, test cases will be executed sequentially one after another. If you want to run your test cases simultaneously, parallelly, you have to change the value to tests. Okay, right. Now let's see. Let's see this one. I'm changing the value. Default parallel value equal to none. Let me run this again. Default parallel value equal to none. Okay, just a minute. Default parallel value equal to none. Hence, test case will be run sequentially, one after another. First admin login test case, then bank employee login test case. Where is error? Parallel with value none must have a value. The list false. Okay. Maybe here parallel is none equal to deprecated, I hope. Parallel equal to false. Let me do it. Parallel equal to false. Previously we have the value none. Okay, I have observed in the communities also the keyword value change it to false. Okay, parallel equal to false meaning sequential equal to true. The test cases are running one after another. Admin login test and banker login test. A small change here. The previous versions we have none here. Now I observe it is changed to false. If you want to run test cases parallelly, you have to change this value to either true or tests. Both are acceptable. Either true or tests. Now, I'll go back to the XML file. Here, I'm changing this value to, see, these are the two options available, either true or tests. So I want to run test cases simultaneously. See, what is the major difference here? Previously, in a sequential execution, TestNG will initiate the test case execution. Once admin login test case execution completed, then only it will initiate the second test case execution. Whereas in parallel execution, before completion of the test case one, second test case execution also will be initiated, so that very quickly you can able to run the test cases in parallel mode, provided every test case execution must be independent. If every test case execution is independent to each other, then only we can choose the option parallel mode equal to test. So what I mean to say, without executing the test case one, if test case two can independently run, then only we have to go with the parallel option. If second test case execution navigation, depending on the first test case execution navigation, you must go sequential manner. I'm running now. I'm running this now. Okay, finally, two test cases are executed. You please observe here this time, it took banker login test for execution first. After that, admin login test case was executed. Parallel execution, we do not know which one is going to pick first. When you have the actual code, we observe two browsers will be opened at a time. Friends, do remember, as of now, we don't have the actual code. If you have the actual code, we'll see that two browsers will be open at a time. In the first browser, admin login test case getting executed. In the second instance of the browser, bank employee login test case gets executed. If we put the original code, we'll observe the major difference here. But conceptually, this is the concept. sequential execution, and parallel execution. So this is all about the TestNG and its concepts. You clear about it? This is all about the TestNG concepts. So just I'm giving a small conclusion here, a summary. Now you answer my questions. Why you need TestNG for Selenium? You answer me. Why you need? So definitely there'll be time difference, Sai Krishna. Because once first test case are initiated, then it go and pick the second test case to execute. Here time is not our thing. Finally, I have 100 test cases. 100 test cases I want to run in multiple browsers. Actually speaking, we use a parallel concept while using Selenium grid. I hope you remember Selenium grid. I was not discussing any technicals about the grid. I want to run test cases on different browsers simultaneously. Then I go for the parallel option. So now my question to you, everybody. In fact, it is one of the must asked interview question. Yes, I Krishna. No, your question is valid. I just clarified your question. That's it. Okay. No, I always, if I are posting more questions, the people, students, first I'll get the clarity, are you understanding or not? Accordingly, I can drive the session. If it is a classroom training, by seeing your faces, I can understand. So accordingly, I'll give multiple examples. But here, only by by seeing your questions, I'll get the clarity so that I can able to drive the next one. For that reason, I'm asking you, do you have any questions or answer me, something like that. Okay, well, there's a question from Nitin. Without invoking a browser, we can test the test cases. You are talking about mobile web application, Nitin? You are talking about web application? No, without invoking a browser, can we execute the test cases? Yes, we can. We have an option called headless browser. Headless browser. I'll discuss about the headless browser later. Well, yes, Nitin, we have an option, headless browser, not a particular browser. HTML mode, it will execute. Okay. You answer my question. Why we need TestNG for Selenium project? For Selenium test automation otherwise. Is one of the frequent last interview question. Here Surya answered to run multiple test cases. Provide full control over the test cases. We can able to group all test case and execute. Agreed? You remember what are the features I have given? Running multiple test cases. Now I'm not asking about only TestNG.XML file, friends. I'm not asking about only TestNG.XML file. I'm asking about the entire API TestNG. What is the need of TestNG in Selenium projects is my question. Here Sudha answered for generating test reports. Okay, good. Sanjana answered in this way to validate Java program units. Raj answered in this way to control the order of the execution before the test, after the test. Excellent. Right. See, while creating real-time test cases, while creating real-time automation test cases on a real-time project. You know, most of the test cases will have some common preconditions and post-condition. Like launch application is a precondition for every test case. Close application is the post-condition for every test case. Using TestNG feature annotations like @ before test, @ after test, we can configure and control the test execution order. What to run first, what to run next, preconditions and post conditions we can configure using TestNG annotations. Okay. So you answer my question, friends. In Java, I'm talking about standalone Java, or in Selenium, do we have any features to configure the preconditions and post conditions? Java enables us to create a method and call the method. In Java, we don't have any feature to first execute this method, then execute the second method. Every method we have to call explicitly. We cannot configure first to do this, then do this. We have to call the methods one by one. We have to call. You cannot configure precondition methods or post condition method in Java. Correct? Right. Similarly, using TestNG assertions, we can implement functional validations. See, you do observe previously, I have not created any if condition here. No if condition here. I have explained here, I hope somewhere, assertions, right? There are no if condition here. Assert equals, we are supplying expected value and actual value. Assertions are comparing expected value and actual value, producing the test results. We don't have this kind of built-in validations in Java, also in the Selenium. Not only in Java, in fact, in Selenium also, we don't have this kind of test conditions. And TestNG produce, meaning generate, HTML test reports after test execution. You no need to write any extra code. No extra code required. Automatically test reports are generated after test execution. Similarly, using TestNG.XML file, we can group and execute multiple test cases. Definitely for automation testing purpose, we need this kind of features. But we don't have this kind of features in Selenium. We don't have this kind of features in Java. Hence, we are depending on another third-party API, which is TestNG. So clear about this? In standalone Java, in the Selenium jar file, in Selenium API, we don't have any features to configure or control the program execution sequence like annotations available in the TestNG. In Java, in Selenium, we don't have any built-in validation. Java do not produce any predefined test reports. In fact, in Selenium, we don't have any reporting features. In standalone Selenium, I'm stressing this word, listen to me. In standalone Selenium alone, there are no predefined test reports in the Selenium. And in Java or in Selenium, there is no feature to group the test cases together. But these kind of features required for automation testing project, but these kind of features are not available in Java and Selenium. Hence, to your Java project, we have associated an additional API, which is the TestNG. if I remove this TestNG, I cannot make use of all the features whatever I have listed here. Hence, we are using another API, which is TestNG. Clear about this? This is the concept about the TestNG. See, last four, five sessions, we learned TestNG and its features. For explaining you TestNG and its features, this time I have not created any actual code, actual test cases. I teach you with a basic examples. Okay. So what I do today, I stop here for today. I'll upload this notes and also this entire project into the Google Drive. The entire TestNG project also I'm uploading into the Google Drive. Today test cases, these annotations, and these assertions, something available here, and majorly the TestNG.XML file. So you go through the notes, you go through the previous and today video. First, you need to get the complete clarity on the TestNG and its features. So tomorrow, what I will do, I repeat the entire TestNG. Whatever we learned last 4-5 sessions, I repeat the entire TestNG by writing actual test cases on Orange HRM project. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow, again, I'm going to repeat TestNG on project base. That is our first automation test framework, TestNG framework. For today, I stop here. Tomorrow we continue. Okay. Thank you. I mean, our classes will take another 2-week sessions. Another 2 weeks I need to teach all the automation testing frameworks, including Cucumber framework, BDD framework. From tomorrow, we start the frameworks discussion. TestNG framework, data-driven testing, using Apache Py for Excel operation, data-driven testing, data-driven framework, JMeter. Who asked to JMeter? JMeter is a performance testing tool, not a functional testing tool, Mr. Someone. JMeter is not a functional testing tool. JMeter is a performance testing tool. JMeter is a separate tool. JMeter is not a part of the Selenium. There's no connection between Selenium and JMeter. Right. So here, I mean, from tomorrow we'll learn about the frameworks, TestNG framework, data-driven framework, hybrid framework, and Cucumber framework. After learning the frameworks, I introduce you the other concept like DB testing with Selenium, JDBC concept, and Jenkins, Maven, and Selenium grid concepts. Okay, almost 2 weeks of time required for this. Thank you. Right. Nitin, this is not a project-oriented training program. This is a Selenium course. From tomorrow onward, the frameworks what I'm going to teach, and completely, the practical orientation. Thank you. We'll continue tomorrow.